to see the people, I really love and cherish.
You couldn't, hang out with your friends.
I don't want to say names.
You are never safe.
I can't speak to if the FBI's involved.
This wasn't super well planned.
I supported my guy.
We weren't normal.
I plead the fifth.
The greatest thing that I probably wouldn't do again.
The COVID-19 pandemic shut down the world in 2020. Businesses, cities, and even lives ground to a halt in efforts to prevent the spread of the virus. And yet, life went on, especially as the world slowly began to reopen in 2021. For some, this meant a transition from high school into college, a transition complicated by the ongoing virus.
The beginning of college was certainly different because of COVID.
Things were just more tense, I guess, around that time.
We had a lot of rules and regulations in place, a lot of things restricting sort of that freedom that everyone talks about college being like.
I was kind of hoping at the end of high school that COVID wouldn't affect college as much as it did the end of high school, but it definitely, it was kind of back with the Delta variant.
Coming from full lockdown, high school and whatnot, and then coming to the college experience, definitely was a lot different. I was pretty far from home.
It didn't really impact your daily life more than it impacted just the general sense of well-being that you had. It just made living more stressful.
You got all the mandates and whatnot.
I was kind of used to it by that point. As far as wearing a mask to class, I had been doing that for quite some time.
You had to wear masks on West Pine. That's outside, man.
You also feared the university a little more since they would enforce a lot of rules having to do with social distancing and masks and stuff like that.
We had alleged limits on how many people we were supposed to have in the room at one time.
Yeah, and just social distancing and being mindful, but everything was pretty okay.
The big two things it did were create kind of a divide between the student and the institution, and then just stress people out.
Despite being in an unfamiliar place during unprecedented times, the start of college marked a new normal for some, including those spending their freshman year living on the 13th floor of SLU's Griesedeck Hall.
13G.
Yeah, we all came together in a good way. Those guys are like brothers to me.
People were kind of hanging out, first in the room right next to me, later in the actual hallway itself.
And after that, every single night till at least midnight, 1 a.m, we would be in the hallway doing fucking nothing.
We would always just chill out in the hallway, shoot the shit for unnecessary amounts of time.
My schedule for that first semester kind of revolved around that hallway.
It was a lot of moments, 3, 4 a.m., and then we wake up for the 9 a.m. class. You know what I mean? It was just, we talk about so much stuff.
You go to class, you come back from class, you could be in that hallway from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. and nobody bat an eye.
Me and Devontae would be some of the last people in that hallway. Literally we would be just on the wall, bro, about dead tired. We would just refuse to go in our room.
I'm a freshman. I don't really know anybody. Why would I not just go out in the hall and hang out with people? And I'm really glad I did because, those are my friends now.
But for the most part, it was just a group of guys.
It just kind of made sense. There was always someone there. Those hallway chats facilitated us getting so close to one another and sort of having that tight-knit friendship. And, it was just a good community.
Amidst the shadow of the virus, 13G was able to forge meaningful friendships and bonds in their hallway. Though the virus seemed to be slowing its spread, it still remained a factor.
I tried to stay safe so I wouldn't get sick, but, things ended up happening.
One day, Kova walks into the hallway, as he does, and says, "My bones hurt."
I'll never forget this. He said his bones hurt.
I'm pretty well known for the infamous "my bones feel weird" line, and I was just experiencing the symptoms of a fever.
A few days later, he was gone.
His bones?
His bones hurt.
They initially isolated all of us. SLU had Hotel Ignacio, and that was just a hotel they had bought out, and I was stuck there for 14 days. Those were some of the days of my life.
Even so, Kova was the only member of the floor to catch the virus in the fall semester, but winter break posed new challenges, as most of the floor members travelled back home.
Winter break, I got COVID after I went to Chili's. The food was butt, and the next day I woke up with a splitting headache. I was hot. I didn't feel very good for a solid week and a half. It was cool, but Well, it wasn't that cool, I'm lying. I didn't thug it out very well. It whooped my ass.
As everyone prepared to return to campus in January, yet another new strain of the virus broke out, known as the Omicron variant.
Omicron, when that came around, the whole vibe was already different when we got there, but things really shifted.
They kind of like doubled down on the protections. They made us all test to come back.
It was like every time you were not in your room, you had to have a mask on.
There was no having people in your room. There was hardly any talking to people, really.
But the regulations were like mostly the same. I mean, you still had to mask up.
This was a big deal for us, but you couldn't really linger in the hallway.
I remember our RA sent us an email, said, yeah, probably can't hang out in the hallways as much right now.
And that's what we all love to do, was talk to people and talk to each other.
We did not listen to that at all, of course. The hallway was our home.
And no one really enforced it that much, but yeah.
But they opened up another facility, which wasn't existent, to my knowledge, the first semester.
A surge of cases with the return to campus had filled Hotel Ignacio to capacity, which led SLU to secure additional housing with another nearby hotel, the Pear Tree Inn. The return from winter break was business as usual for 13G. A mostly unremarkable first week back transitioned into a weekend which found the group sitting in their hallway as usual, discussing plans for their Sunday night.
I know we were like, oh, we got to do like a cookout, like a wing out or whatever, right? And we were floating around the idea we get like 70 wings.
I think we looked into Wingstop and we just started experimenting.
And I was scouting the wings. I was a little bit bigger back then. But yeah, I think it was something big. I know something Super Bowl, something football.
Was it the Super Bowl? Nah, it wasn't the damn Super Bowl. We just did that.
It was the divisional round. And I remember watching some of those games. It was a great weekend, as I recall.
We wanted wings for the divisional round. And you know what we did? We got wings for the divisional round. Because we're not normal people.
Why wait 3 weeks for the Super Bowl when we could order some wings right now?
It's just the kind of shit we do. We didn't even need a reason to hang out, but now you gave us a reason, so it's like, let's ball out, you know what I'm saying?
And we wanted to watch football and eat wings, so we watched football and got some wings.
Why wouldn't you do that?
This was a discussion that I had. I think me and Sean were really big on this, and then I think Riley got involved. It was a group joint effort, but I put in that order.
And we bought 75 wings.
We bought 100.
I think Kova bought them.
I was stingy. I said, if you don't pay, you're not eating, bro.
None of us had a job at the point, so I don't really know how we did that.
I mean, I don't know. I did DoorDash over the summer and a little over winter break, so that might have helped.
Yeah, I had no money. I don't know how I pitched in for those wings. I almost am wondering if I even did.
Looking back, I don't know how any of us survived with that little money, because we were broke.
I did pay for them with my body. Wait.
The plan was put in motion. Kova headed to Wingstop to purchase 75 wings, while the rest of the floor set up for the feast that was to come.
I walked out and saw Kova's table.
Table? The sheet on top of the table? And that was that. That was where the magic happened.
We had the 3 big wing trays.
It was barbecue, lemon pepper, and I think hot.
25 of each. And we got fries too.
The ranch, the blue cheese.
And we was just in there going crazy, man. Just, it's crazy.
You ever fed fish after they haven't had food for a day? It's a frenzy.
But everyone was in the hallway, which was a common sight. That was not the most people I ever saw in that hallway, but that was a lot of people that were in the hallway that night.
Scenes in that hole was crazy, like never before seen. Like, I swear to God, I thought I had to ask permission from Jimin, like if this shit could even be allowed, because COVID. I swear to God, I think I asked him that.
He said, oh, can I have a wing? We said, sure. Someone chimed in and asked, are we even allowed to do this?
And I was like, can this gathering even happen? I don't want to get him like screwed over and whatnot.
He shrugged and said, I don't know. I don't think we were, though.
But he was a chill RA. Shout out Jimin.
But he did have a mask on, so he was following protocol. He was doing a good thing, all right? Don't incriminate him. He ain't do nothing wrong.
There was at least like 20 people.
I was in and out the whole night because I wasn't feeling good. So I don't really know how many people were there.
There was hella heads in that hallway. I don't know how much everybody ate. I don't know how much I ate, but I know I ate good.
like 25 people packed into that hallway, all of them eating wings.
Listen, it was people that was there that shouldn't have been there.
We didn't even invite all of them. Some people just showed up and started eating our shit.
And I'm only saying that because a lot of them didn't pay.
Indeed, there was another uninvited guest in the hallway, yet one who tagged along with an invited one.
I didn't really leave my room that day. I had a mask on. I tried not to see anyone, but I just couldn't resist those wings.
I think I was eating the wings on the floor, which I wish could say was not that common that year. And I remember Devontae McFarlane coming out of his room with a mask on, and he seemed fine, but the mask was cause for concern.
I mean, why was I there if I felt sick? Like I said, I couldn't resist those wings.
After that, I just kind of remember sitting in the hallway with some people and just chatting. And, you know, pretty good night.
With everyone full, people began to go their separate ways and prepared to face the week ahead. What they would face in that week, though, was beyond what anyone expected.
I woke up the next day and I knew that I'd made a grave mistake the night before. I knew that I had COVID. And so I got up that morning. I went to the SLU healthcare office. I took a test for COVID and I tested positive.
Upon learning of his positive test, McFarlane began relaying the news to the others.
I remember we were all seeing our Wordle scores to floor 27, the group chat, and Devontae pops in and says, I have COVID.
I was just kind of like, oh shit. I mean, I had class that day, so you know, I had shit to do. It was just like, damn.
And then I think we all started like getting the notification that somebody around you was positive for COVID.
And from that point on, I knew we were doomed.
By the end of the day, McFarlane had already been taken away. But he somehow dodged Pear Tree and instead was able to quarantine at home.
They wanted to send me to Pear Tree. They really did. As soon as I got that positive test, they told me that I needed to go. And you know what I told them back? I'm not going. And that was really all it took. So I went back to my home and I didn't see the sun for 7 days. It was terrible.
He was calling us. He couldn't even step outside to see the sunlight, bro. It was crazy, man. He was locked up in his own house. Think about that, in his own house.
I remember all of my family members left the house and I went outside and it felt like I was just born again.
He stepped outside for 5 minutes, had to go right back inside, bro. That was ridiculous. Like, you know, I felt for him a lot, but I just didn't know who was next. I didn't know.
The virus knew who was next, though.
I got called in for a random test 2 days after wing night. So I went in, I did random PCR test, and the next day I was like, yeah, I definitely have COVID.
As Martin's test results were processed, more and more dominoes began to fall around him.
It was like, you think blink and fart, boom, somebody going to Pear Tree Inn.
Next day, another girl who was there, she tests positive. They ship her off to Pear Tree. And then the next day, I got a call.
I remember I was just laying there in my top bunk, and Danny was sitting in that chair, man, and he got the notification from the Gestapo. They said, you got the big C. If you don't get out of here, we're gonna do very bad things to you, bro.
Yeah, it was definitely a sinister air of, you're going to Pear Tree. Or you're getting out of St. Louis. And personally, I took the Pear Tree option.
And they took him hostage. They put him away in jail.
I wanted to go home, but my family wouldn't take me in. So I was taken to Pear Tree, and I had a hotel room all to myself for 5 days. And honestly, it could have been a lot worse. It was pretty okay. I just kind of like chilled. I like pretended to go to class, and then I just kind of like watched whatever sport was on. Like, I think I was watching a Sacramento Kings basketball game, but, you know, there was nothing else to do.
With multiple people from Floor 13 isolated, along with several others present at wing night, those remaining tried their best to keep in contact, while also questioning whether they would be the next to board the van to Pear Tree.
We could see the insides of what was going on. Everybody looked like they were in good spirits, but I could tell they were suffering on the inside. Because I was that person at one point. The food wasn't great. You're suffering with COVID, and the only thing on the menu is a damn hot dog. And we'd get the occasional photos and whatnot, you know, people on the game and stuff. People would pack, like, whatever to keep them sane, but we don't really know, the real them, as they say.
Man, I was wondering if I was next. Is they gonna get me? They gonna kill me? Cause what if I didn't want to leave? I like my bed. It took a lot to get that bed lofted. Those who know.
I thought it couldn't happen again because, the first time that I went into isolation, like, I never wanted to do it again.
And if not me, then who? Who was next? It's getting real out of hand real fast.
But, I'm immune to it. I couldn't get it again. At least I thought I couldn't get it again. Nah, that was just suspense.
Martin and McFarlane were both released the next Monday, over a week after the events of Wing Night. Yet still, people continued to fall.
Literally the next day, Riley goes down. Riley gets taken to Pear Tree. So we knew it wasn't over.
I was eating when they took that dude. That was crazy.
No!
I will stand by the fact that I never had COVID. I may have been asymptomatic, obviously, but I did not have COVID when I tested positive.
Whether he had COVID or not, Tharp found himself quarantined all the same. But despite the constant back and forth from Pear Tree, the group's spirits persisted.
It was pretty chill, honestly. It was kind of cool just to go hang out at a hotel by myself. I mean, I brought my Xbox and I played Fortnite with Sean while I was there.
When Riley got locked up, we actually played Fortnite. And we won that day.
I remember I was in the hotel. They didn't have a chair in my room, so I was standing up playing Fortnite with Sean. And we won. We won a victory royale while I was in the Pear Tree.
Remember that. We won that day. COVID can't kill the gamer, bro. Remember that.
So, I mean, they gave me free food, and I just got to have my own room for a while. It was kind of nice.
With so many of his friends having been isolated, another member of the 13th floor named Ryan Shanahan began to investigate and see whether or not any potential foul play was involved. Having been recently embroiled in a conflict with the SLU Health Centre, Shanahan began investigating all possible angles of the matter.
That was a very valid investigation.
There's no way that in that small span of time, that many of us test positive for COVID while also not getting sick from COVID.
From what I could remember, Ryan was both onto something and onto nothing.
Before I was taken to Pear Tree, I thought Ryan's investigation was a pretty funny joke. Like, oh, haha, the Wings gave us COVID. There's some conspiracy with the health center. But then I got to Pear Tree, and the first thing I saw when I looked out my window was the FBI building. So you tell me if Ryan's investigation was warranted.
It's like one of those things where when you think that you're one step ahead, the other person is about 10 steps ahead. So while he got close, he never got quite close enough.
He wasn't investigating shit. There wasn't nothing to investigate, bro. That was divine justice. I'd like to think that he was on to something, just not in the same way. Because he put chicken sandwiches in the investigation. And chicken sandwiches ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
He made a lot of progress. Listen, I was there with the blueprint, that door, and just all the probable causes, all the links and whatnot, and I was there in those discussions.
And you know what? Ryan was the scapegoat. They set him up.
Not long after he started to put pieces together, Shanahan himself was summoned to take a random COVID test. It would come back positive.
Riley came out after the normal 5 days. He seemed all right. And that very day, they take Ryan to Pear Tree.
So a little bit of an update here. I got randomly selected for a COVID test. And, they took us away. We're stuck at this damn place called Pear Tree. So, they said they were going to have food waiting for me. There's no food. So if I, starve, don't come back, just know they did it to me.
He was not sick. I can guarantee he was not sick.
They wanted to silence his voice. They wanted to really silence his voice.
I think he came close. I think that's when he got sent to Pear Tree, and they could keep an eye on him from that FBI building of theirs.
They sent him to Pear Tree right after he launched the investigation. That is not a coincidence. That is intentional, and that is targeting.
Listen, when he came out of there, it was something different about him. You know what I mean? Like, when you looked at him, it wasn't the same Ryan that I knew from before.
Shanahan would become the first person who had been at wing night to test positive a second time, resulting in an extended stay. To this day, opinions vary among the group as to what actually happened and who may have orchestrated it.
It goes all the way up to Freddie P.
Yeah, I hear Freddie P might have had some involvement.
It's no coincidence that he left at the same time as we did.
I mean, the timeline all makes sense, just regarding any school involvement with how anal they were about it.
I'm led to believe that there was some COINTELPRO-esque Splinter Cell within our ranks that may have interfered with the wings in a way, Because that shit don't happen. Now, granted, did I also get COVID from eating food at Chili's? Yeah, but this isn't about me, because I didn't get COVID from eating those wings.
Shanahan was eventually released from Pear Tree after serving the maximum sentence. Within the next 4 weeks, COVID cases began to go down, and restrictions at SLU were lifted. 13G was able to enjoy the rest of their freshman year without worrying about the virus any longer. Now, 4 years removed, those involved were given a chance to reflect on wing night, including how they've changed since and what they may have learned.
I didn't learn anything, man. I would probably do that again.
We did it again and again and again.
Fuck is there to learn, man? Don't eat wings with your bros? Hell no.
Why wouldn't I just go out there? Yeah, so what? I spent 5 days in a hotel because of it.
Life went on, COVID went away, and we kept congregating. You can't stop. Listen, you could take the 13G away from the hallway, but you can't take the hallway away from the 13G.
It really helped bring us together, have more of these moments, and it was a yearly thing. We moved from the hallways to people's apartments. It's crazy to see how far all of us have come. Every time we did it again, I feel like it was an even greater success. We stepped it up too. Shout out First Stop Grill. Shout out them. Those wings are amazing. Shameless plug, but First Stop Grill, amazing. You need to go.
I got COVID 2 more times after that.
No, I never got COVID again.
I'll be damned if I get COVID ever again. It's 2026, and I just turned 17. I'm not getting COVID ever again, bro.
I can't eat that much no more. I can't put down 15 wings in one setting like that. I'm a changed man in that way.
Well, one thing's for damn sure, I don't eat Wingstop no more.
I have never got wings from Wingstop ever again.
The wings are not that good, but because there's 75 of them and you hanging out with the guys, you don't care about how the wing tastes. You care about the camaraderie.
Honestly, they were good. I've kind of fallen out of love with Wingstop. Not that we were ever that serious.
I can't remember the wings even being remarkable. I'm not gonna lie.
That's how the wings tasted. The wings tasted like brotherhood. But they were all right. Wingstop is a very all right.
Oh my God. I don't even, what kind of a question is that? Were they good? I ate 15 of them.
Well, as a matter of fact, I did dare to order wings again. I just got them.
When it comes to that fateful night, when it comes to the night on that floor, I'm just gonna say this, I don't regret anything.